This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. As most of you know, the Super Bowl is only a few days away. And the Super Bowl is used by the elites as one of their major tools for pushing Illuminati satanic agendas into the mainstream. They use these commercials to push their agendas and use mind control. And they use the halftime show to push across whatever narrative they want to push across. Last year, we saw the Black Lives Matters divide and conquer race war pushed. We also saw Coldplay pushing the love movement, which we'll probably see as well on Sunday. The love movement is part of the one movement. It is the acceptance of the Antichrist. But these commercials are also big during the Super Bowl, and most people watch the Super Bowl just to see the commercials. That's how pathetic of a society we live in nowadays. And the reason that these major companies come up with new commercials and new manipulative commercials for the Super Bowl is because it's the most viewed show in America every single year. Over 100 million people watch this. So they know it's an opportunity to get into the heads of the masses through subliminal mind control. Because people out there watch it, they go, oh, that was funny. Which was your favorite commercial? They don't realize they're being put under hypnosis while they're watching it. So you can expect the elites to roll out commercials, and they're already starting to show some on YouTube. And this one probably takes the cake. From Avocados from Mexico, one of the most blatantly obvious, discrediting commercials to the secret societies, the Freemasons, the Illuminati. Like I tell you all the time, they use humor to deflect truth. I say it almost every day because we're seeing it more and more in the mainstream. They're coming out with these commercials like the Pizza Hut commercial, deflecting attention from conspiracy theories and the real things that are happening, such as Pizzagate and all this other stuff, and this divide and conquer agenda and this race war agenda. And they deflect it by using comedy because people out there, when they see this stuff and then they see sarcasm and satire attached to it, their brains dismiss it as a joke. They don't take it seriously. So Avocados from Mexico decides to release their commercial a few days early called Secret Society. And it's a complete mockery of anyone out there who does this type of work, who exposes the secret societies, exposes the symbols. It's filled with the symbols. Obviously, they're deliberately there. So this isn't a major debunking as far as seeing the symbols, because they deliberately are putting it there to rub it in our faces and mock us. But they're also using humor, sarcasm, and talking about things that are true and making a joke of it so that people out there automatically dismiss it. So what we see is we see this eyes wide shut type theme. As these people, the secret society walks into a room, immediately you'll see the obelisk. Okay, I've exposed the obelisk before. It's one of their big symbols. The Washington Monument is an obelisk. 6,660 inches tall, 666 inches wide. But the obelisk represents Baal's shaft. That's what it represents. And it is sacred to the secret societies. That's why we see obelisk monuments all around the world. So immediately we see the obelisk inside of a circle. We also immediately see what? Pyramids. What a surprise, right? All over the walls. We see pyramids on the walls. We see pyramids hanging on, banners. We see pyramids on the back of this king-type chair that this man is sitting in. We also see on the stained glass windows, we see the all-seeing eye, of course. So this is all deliberately there. Obviously, they're poking fun at people such as myself. I could care less about that. But I'm trying to tell people out there that this is what they do with humor and sarcasm. This is what they did. Like yesterday, I talked about Stephen Colbert. This is why they have him bring up Pizzagate and then go, well, am I in it? Maybe. And everyone gets a laugh out of it because they can do that to deflect. And they only bring attention to these things when they're true. That's why they're bringing attention now to Pizzagate after the fact, because they couldn't get away with it anymore. It was growing, growing, and growing. They had to create a hoax. Then they had to do damage control, which is having these comedians come out and actually joke about something as serious as these kids being abducted and ritually sacrificed. But the masses out there are so dumbed down, they think it's funny because they think whatever these false idols say is funny. So they're bringing attention to all these things that are true. And the reason they're doing it is to make a mockery of it, to mock us, those out there who listen to this channel, those out there who are exposing this stuff, because it makes it more difficult to wake up the masses when they bring attention onto it themselves and then discredit it. So when you point out the all-seeing eye and the obelisk and these symbols, people out there will laugh it off because they'll already be conditioned into thinking it's a gigantic joke. So we see the obelisk, we see the all-seeing eye, we see the pyramid, not a big surprise. Of course, they stand in a ritual circle, as they always do during these rituals. They'll stand in a circle. They'll usually have the pentagram. They don't expose the pentagram or the Baphomet in the commercial, but they are standing around the obelisk in a circle, which represents these black magic rituals that they do because they usually stand around in a circle. So then they start asking each other questions. And they tried to make a mockery of things that are actually true. So the guy takes his mask off and he says, how can we be a secret society if everybody's learning all our secrets, right? Because they know everybody's learning this. God is shining light and exposing the darkness. So they're saying we can't be a secret society if all of our secrets keep getting out, which, they're doing comedy there. They're doing satire. It's a parody on, right? So then they start bringing up things that are actually really going on. And then they mix in, like I always tell you, they'll mix in ridiculous conspiracy theories with truth. So the guy goes, did they know that we faked the moon landing? And he says, no, not yet. Well, we do know. Those of us who are awake are very aware that the moon landing's fake. Then they say, what about the Sasquatch? What about the Sasquatch? And what about Deflategate? So they bring these ridiculous things that are, fake conspiracy theories. Deflategate, the stupid, Patriots deflating the football thing that became mainstream news every single day, like there was nothing else important going on in the world. That was them mocking us, that people in this world cared more about a football being deflated of a certain amount of air compared to all the horrors that are going on in the world, because they take attention off of truth and then they get people to care about nonsense like that. So they bring attention to that, and they bring attention to the moon landing, because that's what they do. They mix it together. So the moon landing, they don't know yet that it's fake, even though we do know. And then they make a mockery of it by comparing the fake moon landing to the Sasquatch, which is what they always use when they bring up conspiracy theories. They bring up the Sasquatch all the time. There's a reason that they do that. The Bigfoot. And then they talk about it and they go, I've seen the Bigfoot, because people laugh about it. So when they mix that and they mix it with truth, like the fake moon landing or Pizzagate or anything like that, people automatically lump it into the same basket, and they automatically go, oh yeah, these crazy conspiracy theorists, I don't want to hear it. They don't want to use rational or critical thinking. Now, I thought that this was very, very interesting, because they probably didn't expect a lot of people to pick up on this, but if you look at the sleeve of all of these, druids, these members of the secret society, they all, on the cuff of their sleeves, have a symbol on it. Well, maybe they went a little far. Maybe they didn't realize that there's people out there now that are aware of these symbols and picking up on it. But that appears to be the little boy lover symbol. You can see it right there. Right? Here's the FBI list that they use for pedophiles who identify sexual preferences. And you see it right there on the cusp of the sleeve. Now, somebody would say, well, that's just a design. Well, everything in these commercials is deliberately placed there. Everything. Especially in a commercial that's making, poking fun at people who are exposing what's really going on. Obviously, this is deliberately put there. Obviously, whoever made these cloaks deliberately put that on the cusp of their cloaks. And that is the little boy lover symbol that we've seen. We've seen it exposed through Pizzagate and all the people linked to it. So that's there in plain sight. And then, of course, as the commercial ends, as they're making a joke of all the conspiracy theories, quote unquote, the guy says, at least they don't know about subliminal advertising, which is mind control. And they go, no, they don't know about that yet. Yeah, we do actually. Those of us who are awake, we're well aware. We're well aware that we're in an alpha state when we watch TV. The majority of people are. Those of us who are awake make sure we don't go into it. We're making sure that we're critically thinking when we're watching any of this stuff. But they always use subliminal advertising. People don't even know what it means, because people are just so dumbed down. They still are so prideful. They think that they're making decisions on their own. They don't realize that subliminal advertising is really controlling a lot of the decisions based on, what they purchase, what they eat, how they live. They use subliminal mind control through the advertisements to do that. And of course, then they show John Lovitz and the classic, you're getting sleepy, the crazy, hypnosis, you're under hypnosis symbolism. And they make a mockery of it, because television is a gigantic box of hypnotism. That's what it is. Whenever you're watching TV, if you're not awake and aware and thinking, you're going to be put under subliminal mind control. That's why people follow and believe all this crap that they hear. Oh, Donald Trump. Oh, Hillary. Oh, whatever opinions they have on things are created and molded from the mainstream media, because it's subliminal, because they're watching it in an alpha state. They're letting them program their minds. If you don't believe me, look it up. Research how the brain works. Research being in an alpha state and what can happen to your brain when you're in alpha state. Research all that stuff. I have a video on it if you want to check it out. I'll link it up below. But again, this is them doing this deliberately. And this is all for an avocado dip. So they couldn't have picked a more perfect product, something just so ridiculous and over the top. I'm sure people out there will be like, oh, that's one of the better Super Bowl commercials. because people are picking up on this stuff now. This isn't something hidden anymore. A lot of people are aware of this stuff. They all laugh, at all of us who expose this, and they think we're crazy and stupid. It's it doesn't bother me because they're just so dumbed down. It's not even worth arguing or debating. You know how many times a day I get a message, this is their favorite comedy channel? I don't even blink. Whatever. You know what I mean? It's embarrassing that you're so dumbed down because they're making a mockery of you, really, while they're doing these commercials. They're trying to rub it in our faces, but really they're showing how stupid our society has become. That they just allow themselves to be programmed. And there's obviously a reason that this commercial is debuting during the Super Bowl. You're going to see lots of symbolism in a lot of this stuff. Last year there was a ton. It's not just going to be the halftime show, which will have Lady Gaga doing some anti-Trump divide and conquer agenda, as well as satanic symbolism. We'll always see that. But she'll push that agenda, and the next day everybody will be talking about, can you believe what Lady Gaga did? They won't be talking about the game. It's never about the game the next day. It's always about, what did you think of the halftime show? What about the commercials? That's what the masses out there are talking about because they're being programmed during all of this. And this is strategically done. So this commercial, which is entitled Secret Society, which of course is trending on YouTube. I mean, I don't even know how it's trending. It only has 300,000 views. Which is funny about how YouTube trending works. People think it just gets a bunch of views, it goes into... They deliberately put whatever they want in there. There's videos in there that have 20,000 views that somehow are trending because they want it in there. It falls into the agenda that they're trying to push. And they want this in there because they want to continue to discredit truth seekers or people out there who are exposing this stuff by using humor and deflecting all of this. It works on the masses. And like I said, that's why when they bring attention to stuff, they're telling truth by bringing attention to it. Otherwise, they wouldn't bring attention to it. Why would you bring attention to it if all these people were innocent? Why would they bring attention to it? Because people out there don't understand how mind control works. They don't understand how they can use humor through, mind control. Humor makes the brain dismiss this stuff as truth because they laugh about it. They're being programmed and conditioned. So this is Avocados from Mexico, Secret Society, just an absolute joke, trying to make a mockery of the truth, but in reality, they're really just exposing themselves, obviously trying to rub it in with the all-seeing eye, the pyramids, and the obelisk, although many people out there don't realize that the obelisk is a satanic symbol. Most know the all-seeing eye and the pyramid. Most average people even know that, even though a lot of them refuse to believe it. And like I point out, look at the sleeve on the shirts here, the little boy lover. Guarantee you the masses out there don't know that, but they need to. It's absolutely unbelievable how plain, in our faces, in plain sight, all of this stuff is. And it's going to continue to happen. It's almost like every day people are like, man, you do a lot of videos. And it's like you can't avoid it. It's everywhere. Sometimes you don't even have to look. It just pops up in your face. Because it's everywhere. And it's everywhere for a reason. Because they have to continue to discredit this stuff. Because they know more and more people are waking up. And we need to continue to expose this stuff and help more and more people wake up and realize this is spiritual warfare. We need to get people to pick up their Bibles because the only truth in this world is Jesus Christ. And God continues to reveal this stuff to us, and we need to continue to wake people up because too many people are falling away right now. I thank you for listening to today's show. I'll leave the commercial linked up below if you want to see for yourself. You should watch it. It's a complete joke. It really is. Again, I thank you for listening. God bless all of you and your families.